Welcome back everyone to our third video in this series talking about Anki. In this video, we are going to talk about a few more tips, a few more tricks, and a few more ways of using the app. So let's just jump right in. So let's open our Anki app and go over what we call reviewing the whole folder or reviewing folder instead of individual cards. So now let's click on Ops. So now we've looked at how we revise individual cards in the previous videos. Now we are going to look at how we can revise this whole folder. So say you are going to write your Ops mock or your Ops final theory, and you need to revise all the topics that you have done in obstetrics throughout the whole semester, which are quite a lot. I mean, we have 45 topics here. And so when you scroll all the way down, you see settings. This is basically settings that applies to the whole folder, and that's why it's all the way down here. Cards per section, font size, review mode, and all of that. The same as the ones that we did in the individual cards, but this one applies to the whole folder. So now let's revise. When I click on review, you see that there is the topic here, previous cesarean section and ongoing pregnancy, under Ops. Because I'm reviewing it like this and I'm reviewing the whole folder, it will show me the topic that this question is coming from. And so when I go over it, you see that the topic has changed. That's because it is reviewing all the topics in the folder. You understand? So it's not one topic. Based on the review mode, the questions can come from one topic, then it shifts to another topic. So let's say 5 questions from one topic, 5 questions from another topic, or they can come as random. Now, it dawns down on the fact that the FSRS, which is the first review mode that is the best in my opinion, allows you to have it depending on the difficulty. And so it shows you that the questions that were more difficult throughout all the topics in the folder will come more than those which are not. And then random shuffling is just a random shuffling, and in created order is basically from the start to the end. In created order, you can select a number of cards to skip. So let's say you want to skip 2 cards, that means it will skip the first 2 cards. You want to skip 3 cards, it will skip the first 3 cards. So I just click on 0 so it doesn't skip any card. And so let's say that is useful when, say, you are revising a card and let's say you are revising and you wanted to do something in a session, but then you had to go and come. And so when you come back, you don't want to go and start all the way from the top. So you revise 10 cards in the previous session. You come back, you click on skip first 10 cards, then it jumps to the 11th card. So when I click on in created order like this and I click on review, it is going to start from the first card that I created. You understand? Or basically it's going to start from the cards, the first card in, it can either start from the first card in a random group of topics, or it can start from the first card in the first deck of cards or in the first topic. So when I see this one, sometimes when it comes like this, you just click on the edit and you see it like this, and then you just do something small, and then sometimes it doesn't come like this, so probably have to go and highlight it again and then click on it as black and then highlight all this again, click it as black and see it's still not coming. You understand how it's app test done? So you can see that it's shifted from assessment of fetal state in pregnancy to antepartum image, and that's what the Omni review is. It allows you to revise all the topics in that particular folder, and so therefore, depending on how you want it, it's going to use the review mode that you want to use. For me, what I do is that I just select in created order when I'm actually inside a card. So let's say I'm actually inside this card and I'm revising it, and I start from in created order. But when I'm in Omni review, I just like to do it using the FSRS, which is a much better way, because I presume that, or I have the idea or the mindset that Omni review is when I've already gone over all these topics and it's close to exams time, so I'm not now coming to start learning them afresh. And so that's how I do it. And this is a very good one because it allows you to, as I said, go over the topics from all of the whole obstetrics or the subject that you are looking at. This guy here, I mean, that's what Omni Review does. When you click on it, anemia in pregnancy, you click on flip. It's supposed to show you the card. Sometimes I don't understand why the card doesn't come, but you can just click here and see the front and the back. Sometimes I honestly don't understand why the card doesn't come. And then you click on save. Sometimes it doesn't come. I don't understand. Maybe I haven't. Okay, I think it dawns on the fact I haven't actually downloaded the card. So that one is there. So if you've not downloaded all the cards, it can cause some problems, because if you scroll all the way down to anemia in pregnancy, I haven't downloaded it. So if I click on this button, it is going to download all the cards for me, so that whenever I click on the Omni Review, it isn't going to give me that situation whereby I see a card and then the actual question doesn't come. Yeah, because I haven't downloaded all the cards, and so that was why it was doing that. But now that I have clicked on it, when I click on, say, anemia in pregnancy, right, let me search for that card. This is anemia in pregnancy. When I click on it and I click on review, all the cards are going to come. There's no card I won't be able to work out. So you can see how the review is, and so you see the pie just decreasing, showing my progress, and you can see how best I'm doing the review. And sometimes when your exams time is approaching, and or because you've been revising all the way from the start of the year, you see the question, you answer, you see the question, you answer, which is very good to help in your retention. So yeah, I mean, that's how it is. Again, you can apply this Omni Review in the big one, which is here, the Omni Review button in the middle here, which is 548. It means that there are 548 cards from all across my folders that I haven't revised. So usually I use this one for, let's say, when I'm coming to learn for ONG exams like ONG OSCE, meaning that I have to add both OPS and gynae. So when I click on Omni Review here, I can select the cards that I actually want to revise. So I can select that I don't want to revise this card, I don't want to revise this card, or I want to revise this card, I want to revise this card. And so I'll choose the cards that I want to revise, and then it will go through all of those cards for me. Again, the same settings apply, and then I'll click on review. So when I click on review, it's loading a lot of data because I've not downloaded all the cards. I don't want to waste my data, so let me just turn off my data like that. Come back here, so you can see what I meant, that because I hadn't downloaded all the cards, it had to go through and download them one by one. So the Omni Review is very, very good, especially when you have a lot of cards in a lot of topics in a lot of subjects that you want to revise, especially when you are coming to do ONG exams. You want to revise questions from OPS, you want to revise questions from gynae. Some people, they can even revise child health at the same time, and I mean, it's going to be like NSMQ, whereby questions just come from different topics, just to see how best you know all of it. So that is very good. Let's look at this surgery folder, right? So I click on it, and I only have one card here, which is congenital heart disease, and I don't even have any question inside. So now let us see how we can create a card and how the generate cards works like. So let's say I come here, I go to child health, and I want to click on cardiovascular. So I click on this. I want to create a new card called cardiovascular diseases. Now I save it under my child health. So I have create card and generate cards. When I click on create card, I'll type in my old cards. This is bold, italic, and I'm giving like a color to the font and all of that. Here you can insert in a picture. So sometimes you want to put a picture as the question or a picture as the answer. Here is whereby you can use audio recording. If you click on it, it's very, very useful. Sometimes there are some explanations that are there. You can't really write them, especially those long pathophysiologies. And so you sometimes want to explain, record yourself explaining it. Or if someone is saying it, you want to record that person. So you record it and then you put it there. So that when I click on the answer, when I click on the question, and I click on it, it will play the recording. Let me show you an example of that. So when I go to obstetrics and I scroll all the way to say intrauterine growth restriction, I remember I had a question like that. So patient presents with IUGR at 32 weeks gestation. Outline your management. This is quite a long management, and so I didn't want to write all of it here, and so I recorded it. This is how it is like.
Patient is at 32 weeks of gestation and has been referred.
And so because I'm recording, you can't really hear it, but that's how it is. And so I'll pause it. And so when you do it like that, you click on it and then you hear yourself or you hear any recording on that particular answer. Let's go back to our cardiovascular, right? So I can scroll all the way down here. You see, I don't like to scroll all the way down here, so I'll just click on this one and see modified. So I'll basically click modified at, and then right now I don't even know. Let me just, so basically you can arrange it like that. Let me search for my cardiovascular myself. So now create card, as I said, you put in the question. Let's see who is Dan. Then I see Dan is a boy. Then I click on save. So when I come back, I see this question here, and if I click on review, who is Dan? Dan is a boy. I click on flip, that's the answer. So now you can see the notion that it is new. So they put the new, or whether you need to learn it in less than 24 hours, they put that indication there. But this isn't a question that I want in my cardiovascular diseases, right? So I can just delete it by clicking on remove. Again, you can see the FSRS details, which basically tells you, how best you are learning the card, the number of times you've learned it, and all of that. Now, creating the cards are cumbersome, and so I like to use the generate cards with the AI. Now, sometimes it's very necessary to create the cards in situations whereby this is a card that you want to use your own intellect. I'll just recommend using the AI. And sometimes when the AI is not working, you can just create the card by yourself. Let's click on generate cards. Now there's a tip that you can read, that you can attach a lot of things here. Let's look at this place. When you look here, it says you can attach photos of your handwritten notes, and I've tested it and it's true. If I have written anything on pen on paper and I take a picture of that, it can go through my notes that I've written with my pen and paper, and it will go through and create questions for me. The AI actually is able to read my handwriting, and my handwriting is quite not legible, but it's still able to read it, and that's very good. You can put your lecture slides and more. You can do a lot of things. So if you click on this attachment icon, you can put a photo, take a photo, and also put a file. Now, whenever you put anything inside this place, you can describe what you want the AI to do for you. Now, if you don't write anything there, it will generate cards normally for you when you click on the generate icon. This clock icon is basically a history of the your previous cards that you've created. So if, let's say, you can also copy and paste something. So let's say I've gone on the internet, I've seen something, I copy, I paste it here. And so when I paste it here, all right, and I click on the generate icon. So let's say I open ChatGPT and I tell Chat that describe VSD. So when I tell chat to describe a VSD for me, basically let's say I just post. Now I want to copy what chat has written. So I click here and I copy it, and then I click on copy. Then I come here and I put it right here, and I click on this generate icon. Then it will generate cards from what I've done, because there's no attachment, there's no file, there's no picture. That means that I'm telling the AI generate cards from the thing that I've written. So I click on generate cards, and then it will go through and do its magic and generate cards for you. So you can put in text, notes, and anything, even without having a PDF or a picture that you are putting inside. So now it has created the cards front and back. You can tell it to generate more, but usually it generates more. You have to go through sometimes, because it's AI, it's not really that 100%. There might be mistakes. If you click here, you can view the card and see how it is, and so you can go through and see the way the cards are. And when you are done, you save it. When you click on review, you see the card being listed here. Where is the interventricular septum located? You click on it between the left and right ventricle. So now let's click back here and click on generate cards. So as I said, you can put in anything that you want, but let's look at the fun aspect. When I click on photo library, it will open my library of photos. When I click on this one and I click here, now you can select multiple pictures, not just only one, which is very good, because sometimes you want to generate questions from a lot of pictures or screenshots that you've taken. So what I usually do, and which I have here, is that I take screenshots of my slides, screenshots of my textbooks. Now I can copy individual parts and put them inside. But when I take the screenshots, I'll tell the AI to basically just set questions from these screenshots. Now, if I upload this screenshot, which is full of information on alcoholic liver disease, if I click on the generate icon, it will just generate any number of cards for me. So when I click on it, it is going to go through and generate any card with any question I think it is sensible. But in this one, I haven't told the AI to do anything. I haven't told it to do a specific function. So it just goes through and generates cards for me. So when I come here and I click, you can see that it has generated the cards for me right from the things that I'm learning. But then I didn't tell it to do any specific thing. So it just generated cards for me like this. Then I can see them. Now, if I click on cancel and I click on generate cards again, you can insert any number of pictures. You are not limited. If I click on photo library and I click back on my picture, now if I click here, I can then describe what the AI wants, what I want the AI to do. So therefore, here I can give you specific instructions. Set 10 MCQs on alcoholic liver disease from this screenshot. Have the answers lettered A to D and the answer on the back of the flash card. Basically, I just give it a prompt and I click this. So it's going to work on the specific prompt that I've given it. So in the first situation, I didn't give it any prompt. It just generated any cards that it wants to generate. But when I give it a specific prompt, in due time, it's going to bring about cards based on the prompt that I gave it. Let's click here. Now you can see that it has these cards. And so this question is here. It has A, B, C, and D. So then the correct answer is here. If I click on save and I try to review this whole thing, when I see here, it has the question and then I have some few answers. So when I want to get the correct answer, I click on flip. It says the answer is C. So the AI is able to do anything that you want it to do based on the prompts that you give the AI. If you don't give the AI any prompt, then at that point in time, the AI will just set its own questions. But if you give it prompt like MCQ questions like this, like that, then it will set those kind of questions for you. Apart from screenshots, you can also insert PDFs. So you can click on choose files, click on your whole PDF or your whole slide, and insert it inside. Now this only works with PDFs from what I've seen so far. I don't think it works with PowerPoint like this one. Seems like it does. Let's go through and see if it works with this PowerPoint. So I click on generate. It will go through this whole PowerPoint and to generate it is going to go through this whole PowerPoint and generate cards for me. So this is the benefit of the AI in the Anki right now, and that's why I said it was a lifesaver, because you don't have to go through and set questions on your own. So now it has gone through this whole thing and it has generated questions for me. I can go through, I can modify these questions by myself. Let's put in another one. I go to generate cards, I click here, and I put in my cardiovascular disorder slide. Now I have this whole slide right here, and I can go through it and see it. You understand? Then I tell it to generate. Either the slide or the PDF is big, it's going to take much time. And so basically you can see how it is working. Like whatever that you want the AI to do, it can do it. Whatever that you want the AI to do, it can do it. You understand? So the incorporation of the AI, it greatly improves your ability to set questions and then have more time to learn on your own. So that is very good. And then right now this card is basically just a demonstration card. So I would like to just click on it, click here, and basically just delete the whole thing, this deck. So if I click on edit, if I click archive, so now it goes into the recycle bin. And so this is how it is. You understand? This is how it is. So now we have gone over cards, decks, folders, omni reviews, and all of that. Just click on the stats and you can see your stats for the day. Click on account and everything syncs to your various devices. If you want to pay for the paid version, I would recommend paying for it on a laptop or on a desktop, the browser, because the price is less compared to when you pay for it on a phone. So far so good. I would like to just touch on the study groups. When you click on study groups and you click on see the Lord is our strength, you can see the number of people who are in your study group. One thing about study groups is that the person who created the study group is the only person who can modify the cards. Those who are part of the study group but didn't create the group can't modify the cards. So you can't like add another card inside. So it's basically like my cards that I've shared to you. And so if you want to modify it, you have to tell me before you modify the cards, because if you modify any card, it appears on my account. So it is my cards that I have shared. And so if you have a very serious group, you can set questions on here. Immediately you learn anything, you set cards inside, and it will greatly help. So because sometimes it's very difficult, the topics are a lot, and so if you are now having to you by yourself set all the questions, it's going to take a lot of time. So when anybody learns any topic, you have that mandate that, okay, when you learn this topic, I may not have learned it. I haven't learned, let's say, congenital heart disease, but you have learned congenital heart disease. So whenever you learn that topic, set questions on it and put it into the Anki. Whenever I learn any topic, say I've learned immunization, I'll set questions on it and I'll put it into the Anki. So when we open our study group, all of us can have access to all the cards, and we are not going to stress ourselves. And that is very good. And that is very good. And that is very good. So that one there. So now I think that we've gone over all the features in Anki. And I think that with this, you are greatly going to be empowered to use Ankiapp to set flashcards, to set questions, and most importantly, use them to learn. Because at the end of the day, you can set all the cards, you can do this, you can do that, but if you don't actually learn the cards, then there won't be any importance to anything that you are doing. So if you have any questions, if anything is bothering you, if anything is not working out for you, you can just DM me, or you can put in the comment section. I'll see and I'll reply. Most important of all is to keep praying, keep reading the word of God, keep trusting in God, because this medical school, your knowledge will take you so far, but I can't take you all the way to the end. Knowledge is 50%, God is 100%. So you need God throughout your studies. So thank you for watching these videos, and we'll meet in another video.